Good morning, beautiful people. Danyelle here from Transcendence to the Truth. I need to start checking my necklace. Perfect. Look at that perfection. Before I jump online, so I'm not constantly fixing my necklace. I'm going to wait for a couple of people to jump on. If you enjoy watching my videos and get value from my videos, please remember to like, love, comment, tag people that you may think may get value from this information. Click follow first on either of my pages so you don't miss anything. When you jump on, say hi, where you're watching from. And one if you're watching now, and two if you're watching the replay. Hey, Stacey. So I want to talk a little bit around temptation. It's not actually a word that I use very often, but if you haven't been aware, I started studying the Course in Miracles this year on the 1st of January, because there's 365 days in a year. Yes, there's a lesson for every day. So it's a very challenging concept, and definitely something that you would only be drawn to at a certain point in your development when you're ready for that, because it does really talk about transcending the mind. And for me, I'd been sort of searching out for my next step and some sort of mentor to help me, and there was not many teachings. There wasn't any teachings that I had really found with a mentor in online, or anyone that I felt like they were very much at the same space of me, or still quite full of ego. But anyway, that is off topic. So temptation, because the Course in Miracles is actually it's channeled through from Jesus. So I know a lot of people have resistance to anything related to God, right? And I understand that. I wasn't brought up with any religion in my background, so I don't have those same blockages. But if you are on the spiritual journey, then I guess understanding that universe, God, source, creator, it's all the same thing. It's a higher power. Thanks, sweetheart. And it is... it's just a word, and you can use whatever word works for you. But in this book, so Jesus, and something that I have come to recognize in my own path, has been that all religions at their core are about the one thing, which is God is within all of us, therefore we are God, which is challenging to admit, and we have infinite, limitless potential, and we are part of a big, grander connection of oneness and unity, right? So because it's been written very similar to, I guess, the way the Bible would talk around the Holy Spirit and God and Jesus, and different words like sinning and condemnation, a lot of words that I wouldn't normally use. But temptation is one that I know has been a word that is used, and something that I never really even used, because it's it hasn't I guess had a negative, I've never seen it in a negative light. Not that I believe in good or bad or right or wrong. I believe every experience is a lesson to get closer, more connected to yourself and more aligned, and learn. So when we start a journey, or when we make a commitment to ourselves, or when we're going through certain stages of growth and we're walking on this journey, and maybe you've decided to let go of old friends, or you've left an old job, or you're no longer committed to dating scene, or you're giving up alcohol or cigarettes or whatever it is, right? And what happens is, it's like when you've made that commitment to yourself, and you're like, yeah, I'm going to do this. And I can see with awareness why I'm choosing this, because what I was choosing doesn't work for me anymore, and I want to choose greater and what's more in alignment with who I authentically truly am, right? So when this happens, we go through a stage, I guess, of what's temptation. So that's actually the mind in its that's your mind actually searching for the past, because we are so programmed, and our mind is so conditioned for our previous experience that we don't even recognize that in our subconscious, it's constantly searching, right? So our subconscious is constantly searching for what's familiar to make sense and understand things. So when you've left an old pattern of behavior, an old belief, an old conditioning, your mind is still in an integration phase where it's still in this like between two worlds. So you've got this old feeling and then you're going into this new one. And this between two spaces brings up the temptation and the challenging part of, okay, you can either recognize it and see it in that moment, and you've got a choice then, right? Because you've always got choice. You've always got a choice of how you feel. You've always got a choice of how you look at your life. You've always got a choice to move one foot in front of the other, or you can stand still. And that's ultimately up to you and what you want to create in your life. And you're the only person that has the ability to do any of that for yourself. So it should be seen as a way to empower you to choose more. But when you've got this temptation coming up, your subconscious has searched for that experience. So it's like, okay, well, I can see this and I can see what it is, and I can see what I maybe would have chosen in the past, but I am so committed, and I have a phone call. Of course. So I am so committed to what is moving forward for me. I know that, alcohol was not serving me. Maybe I would drink too much and then I'd write off the next day, or like I'm partying too much and I'm getting on drugs, and then I'm too scattered, or maybe you have bad relationship history and you keep going into the same patterns, right? So it's like, okay, I've made this command and demand of myself, and then these temptations pop up, and you have that choice because you're starting to see and recognize, oh yeah, I feel better, I feel lighter, there's some cool stuff happening, I'm more in line with the universe. I've let go of the old, right, which actually opens up my energetic field to receive in new stuff. So new opportunities, because you're in more alignment with who you authentically are, that you don't actually, it's called being in flow, you don't actually have to do or search or for anything, because it all flows to you. What you are radiating at and what you are energetically vibrating at, everything in your experience will start to match that, and you don't have to do fucking anything other than be whatever you want to feel in that moment. And that's why being in the present is the only fucking important thing, because the past will contract your energy. The past will bring you back into your subconscious of reprogramming and searching for those old things. So then when the temptation pops up, you can look at it aware, and you will slip back, and there's no judgment in that. So when you do fuck it up and you slip back and you choose the old temptation and you go back, and it might happen a couple of times, but each time you're going to be like, why did I choose that? Like, look what that created. Instead of going into judgment, you're like, well, I can see what I could have chosen and what that would have created. So it's like looking at the choice and looking at all of the possibilities. So it's not just choosing what's good in this present moment, because choice creates. And if you truly get that concept, every single choice creates. It's not just what's created right now, it has a flow and effect. You're sending out quantum entanglements to the universe. So if you're choosing out of something that's contracted and you know that is not in alignment with what you want in your life, then you are going to be creating more of what you don't want in your life. It's really, really simple. And when that comes up, sometimes you won't even realize how much work you've done on yourself and how much you've shifted your brain and your pattern of behavior, that when it pops up, you're like, wow, even 2 months ago, that would have been so appealing to me. Like, I can see I would have chosen that. I would have put energy there. I would have brainwashed myself to think it was a good idea, because, what I'm missing within here, I'm seeking or searching for out there in whatever experience. But I know, because I've done it so many times, and I'm also choosing this more and more, that I know what both of those things give me. So it's like, okay, thank you for showing me what I could choose, but now I'm choosing greater and I'm choosing more for myself. Okay? And it's not, and it's super empowering. It's super, super light when you can go, wow, okay, I would have done that, and maybe I'm not where I want to be right now, but I know that definitely isn't where I want to be. I don't want to be choosing from that space and that energy anymore, because that is past. That is past. That is an old program. That is an old belief. That is an old condition. And I'm choosing to be more of my authentic self. So be kind to yourself. Be gentle. Be loving. While we are shifting, and some of us are shifting super, super fast at the moment, there's going to be a lot of temptation, and there's going to be a lot of challenging, pushing from the lower vibrations into the higher frequencies. And this is going to be in the world as well for a while. You know, there's going to be going back into fear, going back into self-worth, going back into all of those lower emotions of guilt, shame, not enough. You just got to keep choosing forward and super aware. Do what it takes for you to be aligned so that you can choose with consciousness and awareness. And just be kind. It doesn't matter. If you fuck it up, you fuck it up. And I bet you gain awareness anyway. So, you know, you're always choosing what you need to experience at this present moment. I love you all. Have a beautiful Sunday. Mwah!